Uh-huh. Ooh, let's go. Key Glock. Let's go. Yo, shalom, shalom, family. What's good? It's your brother, Dali Yahoo Yasharon. We back with another video, another live, and we talking our talk, man. So today it's Thursday, going on Friday, and our goal is to go live every day, different financial asset classes on our investment advisory channel. So today, before the weekend, we can't let the week end without talking about commodities. And yeah, we're gonna get into it, do some groundwork on that commodity tip, and lay the foundation for what we're gonna be doing every time. So yeah. So today, again, commodity, and we're gonna look at some charts. So I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna get into some things, and I'm glad to be doing this. It's for, trust me, it's for y'all benefit as much as mine, because these are things we just have to be paying attention to these days and these times. So give me 1 second. Cancel. Let me put it up. Trading view. And let's get to it, man. Let's get to it, bro. Profile count. Oh, down there in the market, huh? Yeah, you see, that's why we pay attention, bro. We gotta pay attention to what's going on in the market. Like, the day wasn't the best day for markets, but that's why we do this, bro. Because in these days and times, the times are changing. I mean, I remember when I first got into financial markets, it was so easy. It was, relatively straightforward. We just used to watch one channel, CNBC. All the business news was there. It had a ticker on the screen, and it was just easy to, it's the commentator right there telling you exactly what's going on, what you should think about it, et cetera, et cetera. But now, today, in a decentralized global financial market, man, if you ain't paying attention, you're gonna lose your shorts. So yeah, let's get into it, and yeah, take a look at what these commodity markets doing. Bitcoin taking a pause today. The stock market is doing some things. Oh yeah, the claim spot like it's finna pop. It went as high as 20. Okay, right now. Look like a little consolidation happening, but it better go the right way. All right. So we're not here for that. We're here for economy futures crypto. Where is gold? What is the gold chart say? Economy. Let's see what they're talking about. Fed funds rate. Wow. They got a chart for the Federal Reserve. Goddamn. Man, these were the good days. Ooh, talk about commodities. I guess money and commodity. So just very interesting chart to to look at. This Fed funds rate 0%. Man, this was a golden time. The golden time, man. I got a loan with this very nice interest rate, and yeah, good time to be alive. But now things have changed. Anyway, funds, futures, forex, indices, bonds, options, all. And okay, commodity, CFD. And when we say commodity, it's important to understand what commodities are, but commodities are renewable assets. And look at this, man. So the last 3 days, gold is down, almost back to where it was. It was at 2,000, 2,200 for a while, climbed up to 24, and okay, looking like it might be time to take a breather. Economy been hot, gold has been hot, month after month. The last 4 months, really it's like 3, 4, 7. The last 7 out of 8 months, last 7 out of the last 8 months have been up from under 2,000 to almost 2,500. So look like it might be time to take a breather. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna chart this. We don't want to just look at it. We want to take note of where we at in the cycle. Take note of the highs. This look like a sell zone. If I had to call it anything, if I had to say anything, that is the long-term, high time frame supply area. It looked like, and we got the area of demand where we took off from was around 1,600. So we gonna give ourselves a nice range. That's the low. This is the open. So yeah, this pretty much is our demand zone and supply zone for gold, which is nice. So that's a nice range from around 1,600 to 2,400. So that's $1,000 range last couple months, and very good to pay attention to this. So we want to refine this a little bit more, see what's going on a little bit more, and we see we pretty much in this zone right here between 22 and 25, 2450, bouncing around. So this is something we want to keep an eye on. Whether it break out to the upside, which is a buy signal, or whether they break down to the downside, which is a sell signal. This is how we know what to do with our investments. And then when you refine a little bit more and go to the daily, it's been down the last couple of days, but it's not, it can go either way, right? So that's important to watch. But right now, I think it's just important to pull up these asset classes and just start to watch them on the chart. And that's the biggest deal, just paying attention. You can't win if you're not paying attention. That's one thing I've learned from my trading experience. Just you have to be. So okay, so the future, when we're looking at commodities, we really want to look at the future market, futures. You see from the futures market, we can see all the commodities: gold futures, crude oil, the equities markets, et cetera, silver, copper, again, forex, natural gas, platinum. So a lot of the commodities we was looking at just now, I wasn't sure which market I should check. So many options. But basically that's the futures market, because all of these commodities are bought and sold with futures contracts. So I think this is why we talk about this, because all of these things is good to explain. Things I know I've heard in passing, but things that we can make whole videos on, breaking down, going further in depth as to what's really going on. So yeah, commodities markets are important. So we're gonna take a look at some of these future charts. COMEX is the United States clearinghouse, so to speak, or it's not a brokerage. It's a clearinghouse where they clear the trades for these futures contracts. So it's pretty well renowned, well trusted. So I think it's a good idea to chart this, put our marks on this chart. And we want to do the same thing we just did on the other chart. Put this horizontal line, draw out some areas of supply and resistance. So, this chart just look just a little bit different from the other one. But again, very important to pay attention to nonetheless. So okay, so that's gold. What other futures contract we got? Let's see. We're looking at commodities. What crude oil is a big deal. It's a big deal. This dollar per barrel. This can tell us a lot about where the economy is going, what's going on, and yeah, for me being a trader, you hear these numbers, the price of a barrel of oil, but this is why I want to continue to go live and continue to talk about this because this stuff are leading indicators to what we can expect in our local economies, what we can expect to see at our local gas stations. This affects every economy in the world. So commodities, again, the more it's our first time really going at it live. But one thing we're realizing is that paying attention to commodities gives us a very distinct advantage in investing, right? We can know uh, the temperature of certain economies, right? So to speak. So it's very interesting. So let's draw some lines on this chart. Gold. I mean, we see 2022 price of a barrel of oil went as high as 128, almost $130. So let's just chart this for a while. We see we're in this smaller consolidating range right here, which is it's like an average. This is every time I can remember hearing about oil prices, it's always like been around this much. 70 something dollars a barrel, $10 a barrel, $30 a barrel, right? Look at this, man. If you would have been trading this in the right time, around 2020, 2021, like oil $10 a barrel, man, you knew that was going to rebound, right? This was a no-brainer trade. So that's the good thing about the monthly chart. We want to start with a higher time frame, where we could take a chance to zoom out, right, and just see where we're going and where we've come from, right? So yeah, oil went as low as $20, $10 a barrel, really negative. That was crazy. Like I'm pretty sure that was like a flash crash, like it's a one-off. Like it wasn't even there for 10 seconds. But the chart really shows us that down. It reflects us what happened, right? But it was pretty easy guess, a pretty easy bet to make that it was going to go back up, right? And it went from the bottom all the way to the top, from $10 a barrel all the way to as high as a 130. So right now we see we've consolidated, but it's very interesting to see which direction we're going to break out to next. So we had these lows in 2020. Again, it's the large time frame, and we, for the next year and a half, 2 years, we went up, straight up. And we see we went as high as 130. So now we consolidate, and we just gonna draw some lines in between here. This most recent range from what we really sold off at right here, 2105 and 123 a barrel. We know when oil gets this high, it's a good time to sell, right? And it's went as low in the intermediate time frame last year, as low as $60 a barrel, right? So that's that. And then close, yeah, $68, $70 a barrel. So we're right here in the middle. We almost actually we at the midterm lows, like the intermediate lows. Really, we closer to. If you draw two more lines in here, make this thirds between this zone, broke this zone down into thirds, we will be in the lower third of this range. And so it's telling us a couple things. It's probably a better time to be looking to acquire oil, right? And or make some futures trades that are on the buy side, right? So that's what looking at the charts and technical analysis can tell us. And it's very interesting. So we're going to break it down a little bit more, going to the intermediate charts. But I'm not going to draw no lines on the intermediate on the weekly and the daily charts. I'm just looking and just drawing long-term trend lines on the monthly today. And I think this is helpful exercise. It's good to see where it's at, where it's been, and just what's going on. And yeah. And so as we continue to stick together and be more consistent with our review, we can start to notice some trends. So we mapped out gold futures, crude oil futures. What other commodities do we have here? Bitcoin is its own thing. All of these are equities, Nifty 50, different type of equity futures. How is the Indian stock market? Some just told me to check it out, man. Indian stock market, all India ripping right now. India is on the loose. Wow. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. So we're gonna keep going. Silver futures. I'm a big silver fan, collector, and yeah, very interesting to see what is going on. And I remember this. Silver pretty much doubled. I remember it was at 16, 2022. I'm like, wow, silver at 16. And yeah, it's good to be acquiring. Like, just continue to acquire. Keep acquiring. When it's up, when it's down, keep buying. But yeah, we see 2020 when it's low as $12. We know that was artificial suppression, like it has been for a while, right? 2015, all this time, it's low silver prices. I was accumulating all that time. Anyway, we see 2022. It was you can see it was down, it went up, it came back down, but we see it's up right now, right? And you see the run. This run started from about this area right here. So we're gonna continue to draw some more lines, map out this long-term supply and demand areas, make the supply zone right here. You see, it was only here for a short time before it took off. Consolidated a little bit and literally broke out. Silver has broken out of this previous range right here. And let me draw a box. Okay, what my shapes at? Very interesting patterns. No, I don't want no patterns. Shapes. No icons. Brush text icon measure. On the oh man, I feel like I went through this before, and that's just why we do this, man. It's good to get the practice. You need to be paying attention. A lot of people love Fibonacci. I want to highlight this area, particular area. Oh, there we go. Shapes under the brush. Very interesting because this is important. We just broke out of this area. So we see silver was consolidating in this range right here for a while now. We just call it right here. But so we see this was the low 2022, late 2023. And, for a couple months, went sideways. But it's official. We got to break out in silver. And things like this is important to see. This is why we're checking the charts, people. This is why we're checking the charts. This is why commodities are important. This stuff is used in a lot of things. A lot of things. So we got to pay attention. We got to pay attention. And so I appreciate everybody who with me so far, everybody who paying attention. I like this time right here at 12. We testing out some different time, but we trying to stay consistent. We working on making our Twitch schedule so we can just schedule our live streams and come consistent, right? But we got to pay attention. Silver just broke out, and that's big news. And I broke out right into a previous supply area, but it already kind of breached that area. So it kind of broke through it already, which it makes it a breakout. But we want to wait for, confirmation, right? So that's that. Pay attention. We're going to continue to pay attention to silver with good reason, right? Because silver is very important. What other commodities do we have? We did gold. We did crude oil. Silver, crude oil futures, natural gas futures. Okay, natural gas is down. Very interesting. So I think it's because natural gas is more abundant. Like everything with commodities, it's a supply and demand thing. You see, gold is in short supply, which is why the price is rallying. It seems like natural gas is something that we have an abundance of, right? On the open in the international market, just in general, right? But it's been as high as $9, $10. I guess it's per liter or per contract, and all the way to $1, $1.50. But maybe ready for a turnaround. So we continuing to map out some things on the monthly chart. Just take a look at some things. We can see the averages right around here where the thing is, where the median is right now. $3, 3.50, 4. It's been all around there from all the 2010s. It barely went over 5, but it just started to break out, went to 10, and precipitous drop ever since late 2022, right? Something to pay attention to, but looks like it may be starting to turn around. So we want to pay attention to that. This is the ultimate sell zone right here. Is the highest peak, and we're just going to isolate this candle, and we see it's going to just highlight all of the activity that happened in the zone, and it's going to serve as a reminder next time for us. Next time price reaches that zone, that we should remember it is a supply zone. Same thing here. The sell zone, right? I mean, demand zone, basically. These are a zone that encapsulate the lows of this chart and the turning point, and we see that we are still very close to the sell zone, demand zone, and it looks like it may be a good time to be buying natural gas. So very interesting, to say the least. Um, yeah, yeah. Look like we ready for it. May pull back just a little bit and retest somehow, but looks future looks bright. We see we closed this gap. It was a huge gap down right here, which also symbols a bottom being put in. I think they call it an island gap. Sometimes with a gap down, and it makes a bottom in the stock. So that's important to pay attention to. So we marked out zones on the natural gas futures chart. Let's check out copper, because copper is important. Wow, copper is pretty high. I'm gonna say all-time highs, but it is pretty high. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, copper looks like it's gonna keep going up. So copper has been as low as $2 per contract. I guess futures contract is at almost $5. So very interesting. And if we take a look, we can pinpoint exactly the demand zone where actually this run took off from. And actually, if you look at this chart, it looks like silver. It was low at the same time. Box, it been in a consolidation going sideways. This was the high of that consolidation. It was like in the mid area. Just broke past these highs recently. So this whole box has been not defeated, but it's like it's past, it's past. And it's a point of reference, but it's no longer, this is no longer a relevant high. It's broken out. So something we gotta pay attention to. Small demand zone right there. Peak right there. Look like we're in a supply zone. We at previously when we hit these levels, it turned around and got rejected sharply. So we retested. We look like we'll see how it goes, but good to be paying attention to copper. Copper is important to a lot of industrial applications, a lot of countries, a lot of ramifications. I don't say so much ramifications, but copper is an important commodity, period. All right, our last commodity, last two. Matter of fact, palm oil futures, really? Wheat futures, this stuff, we got to watch for these commodities. We want to be paying attention to this. Okay, so let's check out platinum. Copper, natural gas futures, and then market. Okay, platinum pretty much the same. Like it's Nobody really cares about platinum. I don't know why. Like, I'm just speaking for myself. I don't like platinum. It's like a fake silver. It's a more expensive silver, but it's like I don't know what you would use it for. It's like you just hold platinum. I guess it's cool. It's cool. This whole platinum. It's worth something, obviously, but what can I say? Very interesting. Oh man, just draw some lines just to show and prove. Talk about where we've come from. Copper. I mean platinum. Oh, wrong button. So what other futures we got? We saw some other ones here we want to check out. Copper, we checked the platinum. What about it was some uh, palm oil, huh? Palm oil just had a nice run. It's consolidating now. Like breakouts, everything like it's ready to pop. You know, it always seems like that sometimes. Assets move in tandems, but very much so now, being that everything has been so suppressed the last couple of years and just inflation going crazy. So many things to pay attention to, man. All right, man. So we just looking at these things, drawing some lines on the chart, some identifying supply and demand areas, and yeah, that's important. So bear with me. Palm oil fusion, huh? So let's look at wheat. Now we know, I think we all know how important this is. Everybody eats wheat, and it is in a lot of things. So something we should pay attention to. Okay, we got a little breakout. It was at its lows, bottomed out right here, retested the bottom, and it's over. It held, the bottom held, and it just broke past the previous high. We now officially have a higher high in the wheat future. So let's start drawing some lines. The highest high wheat has been as high as 1,200 a contract, and as low as 4, 5, 600, 4, 500. So we know when we get in the zone, it's sell time. And we know when we get in this zone, it's buy time. 521. So between 500 and 550, 600, it's time to be buying wheat. And like it can be a great return on our investment. So that's important to pay attention to. And nobody talks about this stuff. Nobody talking about the price of wheat futures, et cetera, et cetera. But this is what business owners are looking at. This is what the farmers are looking at. This is what everybody looking at, right? Except for the people that are not in the know. Corn. What about corn? CBOT. Corn is down from its highs, but you know, a little bit higher, making a higher low relatively. Let me just draw some lines. High corn has been as high as 800 roughly a contract, and it's been as low as 300, 350. Okay, so corn is a buy, right? With a stop somewhere under the bottom up under three, somewhere at 350, you can put a stop, but it's got some upside to it. Nothing to go but up. You know, that's why looking at charts is important because it gives us perspective and it gives us the confidence to make a trade or place a bet. Cocoa futures. Wow, look at that. Why not? Coke has always been on the market. Wow. Coke has been sustained for a long time, Coca, but now we're getting paid more than ever for Coca. 2,800 like the average, 2,000. They call it 2,000. Now we at 8,000, 9,000. Whoa. Is anybody paying? Is anybody out there? Yeah, somebody better be paying attention, man. This stuff is relevant. This stuff is relevant. I'm glad to be doing this. The more I do it, I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm paying attention because no, I would have been distracted somewhere. Okay, coca futures. We put some charts on that. Hopefully, give us come back a little bit and just give us a nice point of entry, and we will be thankful. All right. What we got? Let's look at one more commodity. What else can we find? Natural gas, we did that. Gold, silver, we did that. Wheat, corn futures. Did I look at corn? I did look at corn. No, let's check. I looked at corn. Corn is a buy. All right, so we talk about corn, wheat, cocoa, got some soybean oil. What? Coffee futures. Coffee is the one. Yeah, Africa. Coffee is important. Coffee futures. 1 month chart. Let me look out where we coming from. 375, 3 something. No, it was from 90, something like that. Now we at 215, and as high as 240. Back up there. So let's look at it's a monthly chart. So we don't want to go back too far drawing our lines, but we want to go back to our intermediate, right, area and take a look and see where have these coins come from. So man, family, we're gonna leave it right there. We got a chance to do some technical analysis, draw some lines on the chart, really establish some supply and demand zones is what I should say. Chance to do some technical analysis and become more informed on some of the best investments at the moment right now. So I'm gonna leave it right there. Appreciate you guys for joining us. It has been a pleasure. Again, I'm your host and your brother, Daliyahu Yasharal from Invest in Yahuwah, Hebrew Investment Advisory, right? And Invest in Yahuwah is an arm of the Living for Yahuwah ministry branch. This is our finance ministry. So we look forward to continue breaking down the assets, stocks, options, futures, forex, commodities, cryptocurrency, et cetera, real estate. We look forward to continuing the process. But right now, we just identify some things on the chart, and the plan is to make our life easier the next time we look at these assets again, right? So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for joining us, and I will see you guys on the next one. Shalom, shalom.